Welcome to the weekend vid. This week we got a new month coming up starting on a Monday. So that tells us we're going to have a lot to look at over the weekend. It doesn't mean we have to be in there right away, but we'll have some good setups to look at. Starting with the indexes, SPY. We mentioned the 2-2 month last month. We'll notice with the strat scanner, about 75% and 61% of the market had reversed with the 2-2 month. Therefore, market's going up, right? We knew that. We'll see on the week, the inside week 3-1. With the new month open, up or down, this gets our attention. The 3-2-2 day setup to go off the bottom of this broadening formation and trigger the week anytime we're above this. 591.16. So we're going to prefer the upside, but we'll see how the month opens. We tend to have simultaneous breaks to start the month, so we'll be monitoring those daily, weekly 60s to see where those breaks end up being to start the month. Qs will be the same story. The 2-up week had the hammer month last month. Nice magnitude you got there. And the daily 3-2-2. So you're going to have this big triangle on the day like such. And then potentially this one kicks into the upside. We go to IWM. You'll see internal triangle at the inside week. And if anything's going down, it'd be IWM. So if market opens weak next month, then we're going to go there. Dow Jones. We'll see the 3-1 week as well. So inside week, IBM, Dow, and the SPY. That gives us some focus. That being said, let's go and take a look at what the market's showing us here. So we can see some of the strongest stuff. Defense sector. Boom. Retail, not so much. Right, staples, not so much, but close to continuing. Industrials with the defense sector. Up and away they went. And so nice and strength there. Airlines had the nice 2-2. Semis, you'll see with the tech to the upside. If we go and take a look at the tech, should be up here somewhere. Looks like we might be mixing it, but put XLK here. We'll see the tech with the 2-2 with semis. Healthcares were still weak, still going down. Energies inside month. Communications, nice reversal if you're like metas and stuff. Materials, not so much. Real estate's inside month. And then, the rest, SPY, Qs, IWM, Dow Jones, everything reverse, including the VIX to the downside. And so we're going to have a lot of inside months, energy, XOP, OIH, all the energies. We'll be watching that for sure for a 3 or a simultaneous 2. And then you'll have home builders, which could go 2-2 back down. And then real estates with the inside month. So those are going to be your actionable signals setting up into next month. Outside of that, if you bought defense from our weekend or our monthly vid last month when we pointed out the 3-2-2 pivot machine gun, or if you bought industrials, we consider that still good. Since we're going at all-time highs on those guys, you just want to be aware of it. But relative strength is definitely to your industrials and defense sector. That being said, let's go and take a look at some specific names. Beautiful thing with the strat scanner is we just go to our quick filters, click inside, and here they are. So here it is sorted by volume, and we're going to work our way down. We can also do this by sector. In the near future, we'll have setup sector stats, so we can see where all the setups are going on, but at this point, we cannot. The cool thing is, what we can do is export this, and then have a language model tell us which sectors. So let's take a look. So we can see here, the top count is going to be your technologies, industrials, healthcares, financials, with inside months into next month, as well as some cyclicals, non-cyclicals. So let's go and take a look. We'll start with tech. And we'll see in the tech, we'll sort by last price, T-Mobile, Apple, Verizon, AT&T, Comcast. So we'll take a look at those first. AT&T. You'll see the inside month after corrective activity. So anyone short last month stayed short, as far as we understand, and bright green years. So that could blow those guys out of the water with the inside week to do it. We saw a 2-2 last week to set it all up with the PMG to the upside. So inside week, T-Mobile, if the market's firm, we'll go to Verizon. Inside week, Verizon to trigger inside month after corrective activity. Should confirm this green year to the upside with all-time highs to take out. Also, got that with T. We go to T-Mobile. Inside month T-Mobile. I believe that's a 2-down hammer week. And then it reversed last week, Friday. If we go to Comcast. A little weaker in here. So notice a 3-2 down week. But if that goes 3-2-2 up, you'd have this triangle that you're trying to come back into. Maybe, right? I'm going to prefer the other 3 over that. Also can tell you things like Charter and Liberta. Charter a little weaker, and that could be a good short for next month. We haven't gotten to that yet, but Liberta, you see same thing. Setting up this potentially to the downside, unless they could firm it up next week, but that's what we're seeing there. We can also then take a look at Apple. You'll see inside month Apple, so either side of that gets our attention, and they've been the, the apple in Trump's eye as far as the tariffs are concerned. So potentially, inside down starts bringing them through all these guys, and I wouldn't be surprised about that. And we got a few kind of nobodies in here. Some more nobodies. Intel. So you can see Intel still a 2 down year. Inside month shooter. Definitely one of the weaker chips. And if you want to go take a look at any of these other guys, you can. We'll look at a few. Inside month, inside week. Doji year. Or Doji inside year. Meh. I'll sort by ATR to see if we missed any. So SDGR, ENTG. Kind of a mess just at all-time lows. And then ENTG, obviously not having a good year. The inside month to confirm the year. No daily or weekly signals, so bottom of this triangle down in here. So that is the gist there, and the focus would be, Apple, T, Verizon, Comcast. If we go to 3 ones, SRAD, SN, or SSNC. Oops. SSNC. So it looks like we might still have a little bit of a data problem, but 2-1 SSNC, and they've been a little bit greener in the tech, and then SRAD will be the 3-1, actually 3-3-1, just under all-time highs. So if you can get out of this triangle in here, you would be good to go. And then you can see they've been chopping them up mother bar in this weekly. All right, let's go and take a look then. Let's see the next one, industrials. So in the industrials, we're going to see NOC, UNP, FedEx, UPS, which tells you your transports as well. So NOC, this is going to be with your defense sector. So defense was really strong, right? We have a lot of evidence they're going up. So NOC, 3-1, 2 to the upside would confirm defense. And you've got a, looks like continuation week, continuation day into that. UNP, which is your transports, Union Pacific, inside month. Now, just looking at this, looks like more problems to the downside, in my opinion, for the inside down back through all this stuff. On the week, could become a 2-2 week, which would firm it up, trying to go back to the upside. We'll see. If we get a FedEx, the inside month, and you can see it looks like more problems to me. Right? When I look at this, I see the higher highs. I see now lower lows, and then inside month to potentially keep going lower lows. And if you see this, it's been going, obviously they triangled out down in here. Triangle out to the highs, and then higher low, higher high. I want to see a lower low and be ideal for us. And you also have the sub triangle of this. So definitely watching FedEx, UPS. UPS, same thing. This is what I'm going to be talking about for a couple of years now. The 2-2 year, 2, 2, 2. It's been reclaiming the highs of this 3. You can see for the past 2 years. So we're still looking for the bottom of that. 67.07, the inside month to do it. Inside week as well. Hammer day. So they may start inside up or inside week up, but we'd prefer it to rev strap back to the downside. And so maybe a slight higher high and then down, but we'll see. Then we got some other industrials in here. WCN, EXPD. Inside month momentum at the highs. WCN, it is bright green year. EXPD, inside month Doji, inside week 3-1. Could have the rev strat data triggered all down. On the year, we've already taken out the lows, so we'd prefer, let's just go back to the upside, but for now, it looks weak. We're kind of getting to some of the nobodies here. PCAR and Otis, CHRW. PCAR, the inside month, inside week. Setting up at the bottom of the broadening formation. So either inside down or inside up. If we go to Otis, 2 down 1 month, a little bit stuck inside of here. The week looks like continuation, maybe a daily to trigger the month if things are weak in the industrials, and then we'll take a look at CHRW and call it good. CHRW, the inside month. Look at this triangle. Man, if that thing could rev strat or go inside down, that'd be a fun one. But so far it's nowhere near doing that, so we'll be a double inside. If it does break up, you'd have PMG. And you got some other nobodies in there if you want to take a look. If we go to XLV and XLF, healthcare. So healthcare, you're going to have a lot of interesting names in there. This is all stuff we want to know about. So let's take a look. And we'll do it by ATR. We can do it by last. LLY. I'm going to move this off the screen just so we can do this quicker for you all. LLY, you'll see the inside month. You got this monthly broadening information in here, and the lows of this, highs of this. The year is I believe it's a inside in red. How close is it to a yearly reversal? Not very close. But you'll have the inside week there as well. We go to DHR. Inside month, right at the bottom of its big monthly triangle, like such. We'll see inside week there as well, the double inside week play. If we go to ABV, inside month. Looks like inside day, no weekly signal, J&J. J&J, you'll see inside month. So it's a little more firm than the other healthcares. It's been chopping them up. You can see like sideways in this stuff. BIIB, still expanding to the downside. Like so. Inside month, if they're going to bring it back and do it like that, we'll see. Guild, inside month. No weekly setups, nothing. This year on Guild is a 3-2 to the upside expansion. MDT. Inside month. So if things are weak, could be one of the weaker ones. It is 3-1 week as well. So you'll see this broadening information in here. Clear this out. We go to CORT, double inside, a little bit stuck in there, so it might be more stuck. GEHC, also inside month. They're taking out the bottom of the broadening information, so we'll see if they confirm or negate that. Weekly inside bar as well. So a lot of inside weeks, inside months in the healthcares. Pfizer. Inside week, see inside month. Has been, getting wrecked in here. We did make the slightly lower lows to this, so if they're going to start trying to recover Pfizer, you'd see it like this, the PMG to the upside. And you got the daily, weekly, so day into week into month PMG / trigger machine gun or whatever you want to call it, domino. Definitely setting up. And then SMMT, this is probably the most interesting looking one. You'll see big volatile movements. That's what we're looking for. 3-1-2 to the downside, reclaiming this mother bar. So potentially you get, 34% of magnitude on that. And there is more, but those are, the most relevant. You look at financials, there is a lot of them. A lot of guys that, I normally do not trade. So we can pull it up. Here's your list of financials. Got Aflac in there. Ally, which I believe is also insurance. And that's really the only ones I'm going to be watching. If you want high ATR financials, here they are. But that's about it. Now, as far as inside months are concerned, there's going to be a few in the other sectors. I'm most interested just in the staples and the cyclicals. So you'll see McDonald's, Lennar, DHI, your home builders, Starbucks, Target, inside months. And these are all consumer cyclicals. Nike, Whirlpool, Yeti, all the cyclicals. So we're going to want to know about all those names there. See if we get some breaks. You also got LIN, which is your home builders / cyclicals. And we'll get this filter back here. If we look at non-cyclicals, Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola, Mondelez inside months, Kroger, KR. So these are all things we'll want to know about as well. And those are all your inside months. Now let's take a look at your hammers and shooters. And really, we're just going to be looking at these sector statistics to see where we have the most twos next month. And we've already talked about what we want to see here, but if we go to add in this column, you'll have the category column. If you look at hammers, we can look for 3 2 down hammers. We don't got any of those. Looks like we don't have, we have a few 2 down hammers, AMGN. That's really about it. So AMGN in the healthcares. Setting up the 2-2 for next month. Very strong. So if we see the XLVs firm up at all, would be in there. Right? XLVs, all of those inside weeks. And that's about it on the 2 down hammers. 2 up hammers. Let's take a look. CSEP. It's going to be momentum hammer across the board. Month and week. Bright green on the year this year in the non-cyclicals. Roku. Momentum hammer. Day. Nope. So it looks like there's some data problem in there, but not much. Let's go take a look at the shooters. With the whole market rallying, there's bound to be a good chunk of 2 up shooters as well. So I already mentioned Charter, Liberta will be shooters in the technology / consumer or / telecom. Home Depot, inside day, inside week, shooter month. With Lowe's, shooter month, inside week, inside or slightly 2 up day. So those are good, interesting ones to start off the month. SNPS after earnings, inside day, shooter month. In the cyclicals, TJ Maxx, TJX. You see inside week, shooter month, top of its broadening formation. Crocs will be coming back in after the gap up on earnings, shooter month. If that works, could trigger a 2-2 year to the downside. Although I do love my Crocs. Uber could be the shooter 3-2-2 month off the top of the broadening formation. That is very interesting to me. Best Buy will be the shooter month to try and confirm a rev strat year. So it could be a bad month for Best Buy next month. We'll then also see in the Chiners. China, shooter month, which tells us KWeb is going to tell us to look at PDD. Inside month. So PDD relative weakness. With China weakness, this could turn into a big problem for PDD. If we go to Futu, a little bit of a shooter month as well, 1-3 week, so it could become 1-3-2 into the month down. Baidu, 2-2 month to the downside, setting up as well. Baba, shooter 2-2 month, setting up to the downside as well. So if you get the simultaneous break there, you could short all the Chinas. Just be careful of the delisting going on in there. And that's about all I'm seeing on the shooter 2 up scans. And that does cover most of what we're going to look for. We can look for the 2 up in reds. See how many of those we got. Looks like MicroStrategy a little bit there. And this is after taking the quarter inside up. Now, I'd prefer MicroStrategy rally just because of that quarter, but we'll see if that negates or confirms. We'll be a little closer to firming up next week with a 322 week. TTWO would be closer to the inside week down pivot machine gun to trigger a 322 month at all-time highs. And they just did have, an earnings, a surprise loss, although they're still making a lot of money, so probably not, but we'll see. GoDaddy, maybe a 322, could closer to the 2-2 week up to start the new month. So on the 2 up in reds, a lot of things just closing inside are closer to being an inside next month. Not much we're seeing, bright red in here. We will see Kava closer to the 2-2 month down, back to all-time lows. PHM, which is your home builders, shows up in the scan again. GitLab, which is your smaller tech stocks, could become the shooter counter hammer month with the 2-2 year to the downside. TGTX could become the 2-2 month down pivot machine gun through all of this stuff. That does pique my interest. Could become the week down as well if they're weak to start the month in the healthcares. Donald J. Trump stock, Truth Social, closer to the 3-2 month down, which could trigger the mother bar to the downside on the month. Potentially an all-time low from that. So it also piques my interest as well. Outside of that, there's not too much to talk about on the 2 up in red. And 2 down in green, they're not really going to have much. There's a few cyclicals in there, some energy stuff, but that's it. The last thing I want to do take a look at is the inside months on the energies, because we forgot to pull that up. And we know energy is probably going to have a simultaneous break next month. So start with bigger names, your CVX. Inside month CVX would be a measured move if it breaks down. It does have an inside week. You have energy numbers on Wednesday. Amarada Hess, inside month would be measured move if it breaks down, also an inside week. If we go to Fang, inside month, 2-2 year down, so inside week could trigger that month, could trigger the, or inside week could trigger the month, could confirm the year. Oxy, inside month shooter, inside week. And it is a 3-2 down to the, or 3-2 down on the year, so Buffett's not getting what he wants quite yet. And those are some of the more major ones. COP will be the 3-3-1 on the month. COP is a 1-2-2 year to the downside. So these energies aren't looking too good here. And they're definitely on our focus. Let's just go to the high ATR ones and see what else we got. Civi. Looks like it's getting wrecked this year. Inside month shooter is a smaller stock. WFRD also getting wrecked this year. Shooter month to trigger as a measured move with SM. Getting wrecked this year. 2-2 month down. Could trigger as a measured move. MER 3-1-2 month. Getting wrecked this year with a 3-2 down off the top of the broadening formation. That one's a good focus name too, with the weakness. UCO, which is, I believe, your Bloomberg short. It's your Bloomberg ETF for energies with USO. They're gonna look very similar. So you got a lot of inside months energies that we'll be watching for next month. That being said, that covers most things. The last thing we can do is just take everything we said here and get in a list. So I will post the list of everything we mentioned in the comments below, but I hope you guys enjoyed this little video here, and we'll see how they open up to start the month. So check back with us tomorrow night, Monday night, to get the update, and as the month goes on, we'll keep you updated. Adios, and have a good rest of your night.